We were 3 days into the voyage. Ari barely spoke to anyone, preferring to remain in her quarters or wander the observation deck in silence. But she seemed to study me whenever I passed by, her gaze unblinking, curious. Finally, curiosity got the better of me. "You know," I said one evening, leaning against the railing near the observation deck where she stood gazing at the stars, "your skin almost looks painted on. Like a costume." Her head tilted slightly, eyes narrowing. "A costume? Yeah. I mean, don't take it the wrong way. Just, you're blue. Back on Earth, kids had these cartoon shows. There was this little blue creature." I chuckled. "We used to call them Smurfs." Her expression remained unreadable, but I noticed her skin flicker, darker shades swirling beneath the blue. "So," I added, smirking, "I guess that makes you my very own blue Smurf." The next second, her skin blazed crimson. I didn't even have time to register the transformation before her hand whipped across my cheek with enough force to spin me halfway around. The crack of the slap echoed in the silent deck. My skin stung, heat radiating across my face. I touched my cheek in shock. What the hell was that for? Her voice, low and trembling with fury, replied, "Do not reduce me to your child's story." And just like that, she stormed past me, her colors flickering between scarlet and indigo. The middle. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to curse her for overreacting, to report her for striking a crew member. But the look in her eyes, hurt more than rage, kept me silent. I didn't see her again until the following day, when she appeared on the command deck. "You mock what you don't understand," she said flatly. I sighed. "Look, I was joking. Humans joke about everything. It wasn't meant to offend." "Your words meant more than you think," Ari replied. Her skin shifted back to a calmer blue, though faint traces of violet pulsed at her temples. "For my people, color is truth. To call me a caricature is to strip away truth itself." That stuck with me. In her culture, appearances weren't just surface level. They were declarations of identity, honesty, and emotion. By reducing her to a cartoon, I hadn't just teased her. I'd erased her. Over the next days, something shifted between us. She began speaking more, answering my endless stream of questions about her people. The myriads lived in great undersea cities on their homeworld, illuminated by glowing coral and drifting lanternfish. Their skin, she explained, wasn't just pigmentation. It was a living organ linked directly to their nervous system. A flush of red meant anger, yes, but also passion. Green meant calmness and harmony. Violet signified grief. Silver. She trailed off before explaining that one. We ate meals together. She watched me fiddle with old Earth gadgets I kept around. A pocket compass, a cracked wristwatch, and she laughed when I tried to explain them. Her laughter was strange, like the shimmer of chimes caught in the wind. And each time she laughed, her colors flared gold. The slap became a memory we both pretended not to mention. Yet in its aftermath, we had crossed into something deeper. Raw honesty. She had shown me the truth of her emotions in a way no human could, and I had been forced to confront how blind my kind could be. Then the trouble came. The conflict. On the 6th day, alarms blared through the ship. We had strayed into disputed space, a sector where raiders preyed on anything unguarded. A cluster of ships appeared on our scanners, outnumbering and outgunning us. The captain's voice came over the comm. "All hands, prepare for evasive maneuvers." We weren't prepared for a fight. Our ship was a transport, not a war vessel. I raced to Ari's quarters, expecting her to be panicked, but instead I found her calm, her skin a steady emerald green. "You're not afraid?" I asked, panting. "I am," she said softly. "But fear changes nothing. Action does." The raiders boarded us within the hour. Masked figures stormed the cargo bay, demanding surrender. I fought alongside the crew, blasters sparking through the dim hold. But it was Ari who turned the tide. In the chaos, she stepped forward, her skin blazing with an intensity one had never seen. Her entire body shimmered a brilliant silver white, casting light across the darkened bay. The raiders froze, staring at her as if struck blind. "Leave," she commanded, her voice echoing with layered tones, as though more than one being spoke through her. "This vessel is under myriad protection." The raiders faltered, exchanged glances, and retreated without another word. When silence returned, I turned to her, stunned. "What was that?" Ari's glow dimmed back into soft blue. She looked at me with something like weariness. "Silver is truth absolute. To reveal it is to risk everything." That was when I realized. I had barely begun to understand her. The ending. The attack left the ship damaged, but intact. As repairs dragged on, Ari and I spent long hours together, no longer separated by caution or misunderstanding. One evening, as the artificial night cycle dimmed the corridors, I found her again on the observation deck. "I owe you my life," I said quietly. "You owe me nothing," she replied, though her skin rippled faintly gold. I hesitated, then asked the question that had haunted me since the raiders fled. "Why did they leave just because you glowed silver?" "Because to see silver is to face unshakable truth," she answered. "No lie, no mask can withstand it." They looked upon me and saw themselves. That was enough to break their will. I tried to imagine what it must be like to carry such a power, where every emotion, every thought was laid bare in color. Humans hid behind words, behind masks. But Ari and her people had no such luxury. I looked down at my hands, scarred and calloused from years of work. I wish I could be that honest. With myself. With others. She studied me and then slowly she reached out. Her hand brushed the cheek she had slapped days before. Her skin glowed a soft rose gold. "That is why you intrigue me," she whispered. "You are bound by masks, yet you still seek truth." I laughed nervously. "Well, you certainly forced some truth into me." Her eyes sparkled. "You deserved the slap." I grinned, touching her hand. Maybe I did. For a moment, the stars beyond the viewport seemed to fade. There was only her shifting colors painting the dim deck in hues I had no words for. In that fragile silence, I realized something had changed between us. The journey to Carvon Station eventually ended, as all journeys do. Ari departed the ship, vanishing into the sea of diplomats and traders. But before she left, she turned to me, her skin shimmering silver at the edges, and said, "Remember this. To mock what you don't understand is to blind yourself. But to seek understanding, that is the beginning of truth." Then she was gone. I stood on the deck, rubbing my cheek with a rueful smile. The sting of her slap was long faded, but its lesson burned deeper than any wound. And I knew, even among the infinite stars, I would never forget the woman who changed colors before my eyes, nor the truth she left imprinted on me.